Hakuna pahali mnaenda, hakuna pahali mnapeleka nchi. Nchi inataka viongozi ambao wako na maono ya mbele, kwa sababu hiyo ndio itakuwa ya manufaa kutatua shida zile Wakenya wako nazo.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the backstory. If you are new here, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified when we post a new video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, former President Uhuru Kenyatta has been away from media limelight for quite some time. I hope he's enjoying his retirement. But yesterday, he came out where he attended two burial ceremonies, one in Tetu, Nyeri County, and another one in Kipipiri. The Nyeri County one was for former police boss Kingori Mwangi. And then thereafter, he went to Kipipiri to attend Amos Kimunya's wife's burial. And during those functions, the former president took time to castigate the Kenya Kwanza regime by telling them to pull up their socks.
Wakati nilikuwa kwa uongozi, nilikuwa naambia watu kitu kimoja. Kama wewe ni kiongozi, kama wewe ndio umepatiwa steering wheel ya kuendesha, kama ni county ya Nyandarua, kama ni constituency hii, kama ni nchi ya Kenya, pale popote, kama wewe ni kiongozi wa maana, kiongozi wa maana anashika steering wheel, anaangalia mbele. Sio kila saa kuangalia rear view ati ametoka wapi. Unaangalia mbele. Ukiwa mtu wa kuendesha ukiangalia rear view mirror, wewe ni mtu wa kupeleka gari katika wewe ni kuingia mtaro. Kwa ni mwana uko kolia bururi. Rora imbere mumenye kuria muratwara. Amwatira na juko na igenyo na maundu matari kuria mari. Hakuna pahali mnaenda, hakuna pahali mnapeleka nchi. Nchi inataka viongozi ambao wako na maono ya mbele, kwa sababu hiyo ndio itakuwa ya manufaa kutatua shida zile Wakenya wako nazo.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to agree with the former President Uhuru Kenyatta on the fact that the Kenya Kwanza administration needs to sit back and work and deliver to Kenyans. When the Kenya Kwanza administration was campaigning so as to get into power, they blamed the former President Uhuru Kenyatta on some of the failures, some of the things that they felt Uhuru had failed on. And they promised Kenyans that once they get into power, they're going to fix some of these problems. Yeah, it's true that a regime might have its own failures. Uhuru Kenyatta might have his own weaknesses and his own failures, because no regime is perfect. All regimes have had their successes and they've had their failures. But okay, they capitalized on those failures during campaigns, which we give to them. They campaigned on that, they rode on that, and convinced the hustlers to vote for them. But now it's time for the Kenya Kwanza administration to come out and deliver on some of the promises that they made to Kenyans. There are problems that are current that you cannot blame on the former President Uhuru Kenyatta. These are things that the Kenya Kwanza administration need to sort out. But if you look at how the Kenya Kwanza administration is working, you're left wondering, like, are we going to move on this way? Are we heading in the right direction? Because look at how the Kenya Kwanza administration, when they came into power, they still blamed the former President Uhuru Kenyatta for having left the coffers empty. But 1 year down the line, or 1.5 years down the line, would it be in order to still blame the former President Uhuru Kenyatta? No. There are problems that they should have fixed. By now, I think their boat should have steadied and they should have been taking off if they had like very good strategies on how to revive the economy and to make Kenya work. But you look at the Kenya Kwanza administration and you left wondering, are we going to continue this way up to 2027? Because it's like we are in a campaign mode. The president himself and the deputy president are like campaigning on a daily basis. And that is why the opposition has also taken cue by joining the campaign kind of mode. whereby ODM is already out there recruiting members, Wiper is out there recruiting members, Jubilee is out there, and you ask, are we in the campaign period? So what should William Ruto do? One is that President William Ruto should come out of those campaign vehicles that he goes around in the name of development tours, which to me, I don't think are development tours. Those are they are kind of formed in a way that they dupe Kenyans that they are doing development, while in real sense they are campaigning. Look at the regime of former President Mwai Kibaki when he came into power. I think this is something which has been said over and over by Kenyans and by politicians. When President Kibaki came into power, he took up an economy which was messed up. But he never blamed the former regime, which is President Moi's regime. Within 100 days, the former president had put up strategies on how to revive the economy. Some of the promises that he made, like free primary education and all that, he had laid down foundation or strategies on how he was going to achieve some of them. And you never saw former President Kibaki campaigning. The only time you'd see Kibaki going, the only time you'd see President Kibaki going around was when he was going to launch projects, but it was not on a daily basis or on a weekly basis. The same happened during President Uhuru's regime. Getting down to work means trying to meet the who is who in different sectors of the economy and trying to look at ways in which you can revive the economy. Campaigning will not help, because what they are doing is that they felt that they have failed to deliver to Kenyans, and in the process they are continuing to give hope to Kenyans by making more and more promises. These promises, or the more they make more promises, the more disillusioned Kenyans become. Because by now they should have been going to Kenyans and telling them, oh, we have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or we have laid strategy to do 1, 2, 3, or they'll be launching projects. But what they're doing is that everywhere they go, they keep giving out promises. And Kenyans, if you look at the reception that President Ruto got in central Kenya, which was his stronghold in the last 3 days that he went to central, it was lukewarm, which means it shows that Kenyans are feeling like they're shortchanged. So that is why I'm kind of supporting the former President Uhuru Kenyatta, that a good leadership should look at where we are going as a country. A good leadership should come up with strategy to build and to move Kenyans along the vision that he has. And another thing that the Kenya Kwanza administration is also failing on is that they want to implement policies without carrying Kenyans along, so that when they implement some of these policies or some of the promises that they made to Kenyans, then Kenyans have bought into the ideas. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to agree with the former president that the Kenya Kwanza administration needs to look at where Kenya is going as a country, the aspiration of Kenyans. You know, we had the Vision 2030. What happened to the Vision 2030? Can the Kenya Kwanza administration come up with another vision, even if it's Vision 2050, so that they rally Kenyans behind, they rally all sectors of the economy towards that vision, instead of blaming the former regime, instead of talking about empty coffers? That is not going to help this country. We need to look at other strategies. The Kenya Kwanza administration needs to come up with other strategies that is going to help this country going forward.
Wengine unaangalia unashika kichwa unasema gaiwi tu Jehova. Wengine unajiuliza ni kulia, wengine unacheka. Lakini Kenya ni nyumbani tu. Tunaendelea tunatakia wale wako mema.
So ladies and gentlemen, that is it from us. Until next time, goodbye.